we talked about also Lupe for a minute too. And when we talked about Lupe, he made a very strong point that, like when you look at the things that you want a great lyricist to do, Lupe does all those things at the level that the other guys do, and nobody talks about it really. The way they
Exactly.
talk about
I agree
the
with
other
that.
guys. The way and so I think a lot of that does have to do with here we go again with media coverage of it, because here's the thing, it's like Nas has always kind of been like our golden child. Black Thought's always kind of been the underrated people's champ. It's like they give all these great lyricists like these things. Rakim is the god. Jizz is the genius. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
think
like
these guys came along during an era where lyrics were important in the mainstream coverage. I think that Lupe's issue is the fact that he came around during a time where the game had been totally dumbed down on a mainstream level. And he was a supreme lyricist. He came, his debut was '06. These are the eras that we call kind of the dark ages in mainstream hip hop, right?
yeah, I mean, he came out spitting. You remember him on Touch the Sky?
Yeah.
Cool as the unthawed, but I still feel possessed like a gun charge.
Yeah, man. Lupe still like Lupe in the third.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man. I remember the first time I heard Lupe Fiasco on like one of those sample CDs. It was an Arista CD. They had like these compilation CDs they used to do back in the day when I was in radio. And he was signed to Arista, and he was rhyming over the Jay-Z beat. Him, what is it? Him, you, her, me, whatever. You know what song I'm talking about. And he killed it. I was like, yo, this dude is the truth. This had to be, dude, this had to be like '02, '03 ish. And yeah, I mean, he's continued to elevate his lyricism. I mean, at crazy proportions. I've talked about this on the show before when him and Royce were going at it. When he went out there and memorized Royce's whole diss record, or damn near a part of it, in hours and spit it back and then responded in hours on the same track. I'm like, yo, man, this shit is next level. And see, I'm thinking about that comment that was just made to us about giving people 14s and 15s. We might need to get a little bit more strict on some of these ratings, because shit like that is easy 15. And so, like, we have to, there has to be certain things that are unattainable, if that makes any sense. Like what DMX and Busta Rhymes do on the stage, or what Big Daddy Kane does on stage, that's 10 stuff. KRS One, and if you ain't that, you ain't a 10.
Okay, so
and we got to do the same thing for lyrics too, especially since we spread it out and it's up to 15 ratings now.
So let's take a step back. Is Most Def and Redman still a 15 to you? With that being said,
Redman might not be. And I know I hate to say it like that. I love Redman.
You got Most is more of a lyricist than Red.
I do. I've heard Most rhyme about the city breathing. I've heard Most do a verse about time.
Right. No, so I said say less. I said say less.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Still have Andre at 15?
I think that's the strongest part of Andre's game. Everything that we put Andre at this level for, it's because of the lyrics.
No, it's because of the lyrics. It's not.
You don't think so? What do you think it's because of?
No, I mean, it's his whole persona and his whole aura. He has an
aura. But that only works because of the lyrics. It does. Oh, let me get to the super chat real quick.
Usually it fits and matches. It usually matches, Mike.
We're going to get back to Andre real quick. Nas the GOAT, shout out to you with the super chat. He said, I've been advocating for Lupe for years. For a few times on this show, excuse me. And on y'all show, Lupe is my third on my list. It's very underrated.
Third on Brandon's list too, after Thought and Nas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's been. You have been advocating for Lupe on this show. Every time we talk about something, I see Nas the GOAT bringing up Lupe, as you should. Lupe is a supreme lyricist. So, Andre being a 15 lyrically, what I will say is, yes, I'll keep him as a 15 lyrically.
Okay. KRS Kendrick?
I think KRS is 14. 14. I know that's blasphemous, but you know, if we're talking about just straight lyrics and this is the bar, I would take KRS to 14. And you said Kendrick.
I'm taking Kendrick down too. Then.
What do you guys think? Is Kendrick on Lupe's level lyrically? All right, so these are the people that we got. We got Andre, Mos Def, and Lupe. Is Kendrick on the same level as those three guys lyrically or not? Because they're gonna say we hating on Kendrick. So I want to hear what the people got to say.
No, let's finish. Cool G Rap, Rakim, Nas.
Nas, yes. Rakim, yes. Cool G Rap might be 14 if that's what.
No.
Okay.
Cool G as a lyricist?
No. That's probably like the strongest part of his game.
Like I'm about to say, lyrically, he might be stronger than all of these guys bar for bar.
Okay.
Lyrically.
Okay.
Because it's only through Rakim's and Nas's depth and expression that they're better than G-Rap. Because lyrically, they are not supreme to him on the mic.
I'm seeing 14. I'm seeing 13. They're talking about K-Dot right now. People are saying Kendrick's voice is terrible. We're not talking about his voice. Let's X that out.
We already gave him a low rating for his voice. This is his lowest rating.
Nas the GOAT said Kendrick is about 12 lyrically.
Disrespectful.
Wow. Okay.
We can go 14. 13?
No, I'm not going to do that to him.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No, I'm not going to do that to him. People saying 13.5. Yeah, I think 14 is good with that one then. So if that's the case, what do y'all think about Cole? Lyrically. I guess that's going to be about the same, right?
Well, we gave Cole a 14 already.
We did.
Yeah. Okay. I was just checking.
Okay. Yeah, all right, so I love his list though. His list is these guys are 15 lyrically, lyricists or however I want to say it.
Because I asked him about Doom. Because I asked him, I was like, because he had Doom at 4. I was like, do you think Doom? I was like, you think Doom's a better lyricist than Method Man? And he's like, I do. He was like, but Method's a lyricist.
Yeah. Kendrick Outlaw. I'm sorry, not Kendrick. Got me saying Kendrick because of Kendrick Lamar conversations. Shout out to Kendall Outlaw with the super chat. He says, does the Love Below count as a Andre 3000 solo project? Okay. I got two answers to this
in the adult contemporary R&B genre, it sure does. It's a great R&B album.
Well, this is what I'll say. I don't think it's fair to call it an Outkast album, and that's how it was packaged. There's two things to this, right? I remember when this came out, right? I remember when Speakerboxxx Love Below came out. It was pretty clear when they were doing media. I think Andre was on Greg Street show here in Atlanta. And so he was explaining to Greg Street why it was packaged as a double album. And basically L.A. Reid told them that, the Outkast brand is bigger than both of them as individuals. So it was just beneficial to sell it as an Outkast album. And I kind of got the notion throughout that conversation that Andre really wanted it to be put out as an Andre album, separately and not together. But I get it from a marketing standpoint. They've never marketed these guys as individual acts. So that would have been probably double the budget, double the work or whatever when you can all package one thing as one. Saying all that to say, I don't think it's fair to call Hey Y'all Outkast song. It's an Andre song. So I do think that Love Below should count as a solo project. But on the flip side, I don't think the Love Below should be considered when we talk about solo rap work. And we're talking about, other rap albums and albums where solo rap artists put together songs with 3 verses, 2 verses, and had to lyrically on a rap album hold down albums themselves. What he did was very out the box, very impressive as an overall artist. But as an MC, I don't think we can give Love Below that kind of consideration because it's not a rap album.
So
you feel me?
How many verses he got on the Love Below?
He
Three.
he has 3 verses on the Love
Right.
Below.
Okay. So I was just grabbing a sheet of paper. I was tallying. I was thinking Happy Valentine's Day spread and A Day in the Life of Andre Benjamin. Correct.
Yep. Easy. Yep.
Other than that, there's no other rapping going on there, right? So what are we talking about? Here's what we.
Well, I mean, you got Big Boy coming in on Roses. Got a hotie's body, but an attitude is potty.
We know Big Boy raps for a living, Mike. We know that. It's been identifiable. But let's go to songwriting skills right quick, since we've been doing some house cleaning right quick, and we've already rated Andre. We're changing some things. How are we rating his songwriting skills?
That's interesting because I have been quoted to say I think he's one of the best songwriters ever in hip hop.
Of what? Name the songs that he's written. Because the other guys,
She Lives in My Lap, but these aren't rap songs.
Right. The other guys that we're about to rank as great songwriters, well, they've got songs.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't. That's what makes this difficult because he doesn't have any rap songs.
It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. You see, there are people who made stuff like, who are we rating today? Common. Common has The Light. Common has I Used to Love Her.
Yeah.
Prodigy. Prodigy has Quiet Storms. Prodigy has Shook Ones Part 2. You see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going with this. And
Jordan House. Let's not get started on Tupac. That's
people think we're disrespecting Ghostface. Ghostface is one of my favorite, if not my favorite MC ever. We're going to get to Ghostface. Y'all hold your horses. We're going to get to all these people. There's a lot of MCs to get to.
Hold on. We haven't even got the Wu-Tang, really. Meth is the only Wu-Tang member we've even covered yet.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Jordan House says he thinks that he's a great songwriter. And you know what? I think Andre's a great songwriter as well.
Do you all think that?
No, but I see what you're saying. This is the thing. We got to clarify. This chart we're talking about is for rap shit.
I want some evidence.
No, you're right.
He's a great songwriter.
He's a great songwriter.
No.
Hey, y'all is all you need to know. You know what I mean? But that's different.
He is potentially a great songwriter. If you're talking about potential, yes.
But even with that being said, though, Coop, I think CeeLo's a better songwriter.
Where's the proof?
Because CeeLo actually wrote,
rap songs though, so you can actually maybe say that viably. Like you can say that viably because he's written rap songs.
But clarify, you're talking about songwriting ability as it pertains to rap songs.
Songwriting skills.
Because I can hear, listening to The Love Below, which is brilliant. You can hear his ability to write songs, and it's high level. But see, this is the only thing, and I say this as an Andre 3000 fan. When you put together an album like that, you're able to kind of pull influences from all over the place. Like She Lives in My Lap is clearly influenced by She's Always in My Hair / If I Was Your Girlfriend. You know what I mean? But see, when it shows the greatness that you have, you continue to do it. On one album, you could pull all kind of influence from everywhere and kind of make things your own. But on the second album, third album, you can't keep doing that. And Andre never really gave us the proof that he could keep even, making songs on that level that weren't even rap songs. It wasn't even like he was writing songs for other artists. We had, Khalees, I'm a Millionaire. Not I'm a Millionaire, but Millionaire, which I think is a dope record.
I love that record.
I think that what he did with Gwen Stefani, I think that same year, with Bubble Pop Electric and all that stuff, I thought it was dope. But it's not like he kept doing it. So it's hard to really give him great songwriting titles like that if we don't have that continued consistency.
This is according to hip hop.
You're right.
So what are we rating him for songwriting? Because I'm giving him a 5, and that's for the Outkast stuff. Because we don't really have rap songs from him that display more than that. You want to give him a 6?
We're not going to get to that yet. Let's stay on the topics that we got right now. Nas the GOAT with the super chat says, quick question. You guys think that Mace is a great... Is it Mas? Because he said M-A-S. You mean Mace? Mace is the greatest songwriter of all time?
Who?
Right.
Must be
Nas. It must be Nas. Do I think Nas is the greatest songwriter of all time? I don't know. I can't definitively say yes to that. I think he's a great lyricist.
I think it's between him and Tupac and Scarface, probably.
I think the Tupac.
But I would put Pac in the lead.
I
would
think
listen on Pac probably.
Tupac's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
Incredible songwriter. Okay, all right. So where were we at, man? We were okay. We were talking about Brandon's top 5. So he had Nas, Black Thought, Lupe, Doom, and Common.
Yeah. He said the last one was controversial, and I was like, yeah, I've never had
controversial.
I mean, I was a little struck by it. I've never had Common that high. The highest I've ever had Common has probably been like 8 or 9, 10-ish. And that was around that Be Finding Forever run where I was like, ooh, I was like, second win, all-time great second win.
I think the thing is, man, like with Common, I think that the work is there. The longevity's there. His resume is stacked. But it's just something that separates him from, like you say, like the Rakims, the Nas's, the Tupacs, the Bigs. It's like, do we feel he's in that same stratosphere? And if we don't, why?
So let's go back to what happened. What I said about Pusha T. It kind of comes with that aura where if it doesn't, you don't get that aura and that gravitas early. That it's like there's kind of like it's like some sort of ceiling in place on how high you can go because the aura is not there, you know. And then you can go to those artists and say, well, is his best project better than their best project? And it's like, well, no. And then it's like, well, is he a better lyricist? Well, then it's like, well, no. You get what I'm saying? And then you start nitpicking, and that's how somebody like him starts sliding, because it's like when he said 5, and this is why I asked Brandon how old he was too, and this is what I mean. So Brandon's 35, and I'm 40, and here's where our gap shows, because I'm going to tell you exactly where our gap shows. Our gap shows really in his 3, 4, 5, because there's no Rakim, there's no KRS, there's no Cool G Rap. He's got Lupe Doom in Common. And so and think about it, he's 35, so he didn't catch Common's first run like I did or even like you did. He probably knows more like Water for Chocolate on Common. And it's like, shoot, if that's the guy that you know and you were introduced to like Water for Chocolate and Be and Finding Forever very early on, I could see why you would have him on his top 5, because you got 3 of his 5 best albums like right there early on at a pivotal point in a listening stage in your life, in your formative years, you know?
It's like this, man, and I think Common is a great songwriter. I would give Common really high marks on songwriting. But I think one of the things that kind of separated for me, because I think Common did his thing on B. He was all in tune and, you know what I'm saying, clicking on all cylinders. But I remember when, I think it was like Black America Again was about to come out. And it was a song called Welcome to Black America that never made it on the album, but it was dope. And he featured Ab Soul on it.
Yeah, I know.
Ab Soul wrapped circles around Common. And it was like, not to say that doesn't make you an elite MC, but it took me back to One Day It'll All Make Sense when Cannabis did the same thing.
On making a name for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I think that he's in a section where he's a great songwriter, but do we expect Common to get on the record with other great MCs and have the best verse?
Okay, so You and I verse at War off Philadelphia Half-Life.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people feel like he got the upper hand in Black Thought on that.
Okay.
That was really the only time I think they've gotten together where people felt like he got the upper hand, but that's a nice feather in the cap to have, because that's Thought's coming out party has an upper echelon MC.
I like him on Respiration too.
Yeah, you could say that. I was actually thinking Get 'Em High.
Yeah, I think Get 'Em High was one of those scenario moments, though. I think Kanye was setting him up in the same way that Q-Tip was setting up Busta. You know what I'm saying? To come clean up, you know, and it was done very well. And not only did it do that, it set him up for what was coming next.
You still have to seize the moment, though. You know?
You still got to seize the moment. You still got to catch the ball, set your feet, and make the shot.
So how do you feel about him on Ghetto Dreams with Nas?
I like Ghetto Dreams. I
Yeah, I
liked it
like
when
it.
it
I don't love it.
dropped. I liked it when it dropped, but it's funny.
It
I
didn't
haven't
stay.
listened to that song in so long. I don't even know. It didn't even stick for me.
It didn't stick to the ribs, right? Which is
Yeah.
crazy for both of them to make a joint together and then not really stick to the ribs,
Yeah.
right? Because that's both what they do extremely well. So
So
those
yeah,
are
it's
some.
just something different, man. Where it's like, I was listening to Pac one day, and I was like, it's hard for me to put Common ahead of Pac,
Right, that's what I mean. It's like when
and
you
it
hear
shouldn't
something,
be that hard if Common is,
you want to know what it is. He has a lot of tools in his bag.
yeah.
I think what it really is that his best stuff isn't as great as the other greats' best stuff. Does that make sense?
I think that is exactly what it is.
You know, like if B is his best album. It's like put that in context to Illmatic or Ready to Die or Reasonable Doubt. You get what I'm saying?
No, you're right, and that's the difference. And it's like his career has been incredible,
Follow the
but
leader, paid in full. You
yeah,
know,
it's different,
right?
man. It's a
That's
different
fair.
level out there.
Yeah,
And I think
great.
that that's the type of stuff that I'm thinking about when we rate somebody a 15 lyrically. It's a